Alright, good morning. Back out here on these knives again. This one's ready for hand sanding. Little creek skinner. Been over the router table, cut the bevels on there. And now this one, with this what kind of material is it? Composite material, or the word will come to me. Anyway, I don't want to put it on the router, so I'm doing it by hand, just like I used to do all of them. And still will do one occasionally. Just knocking that edge off. Won't be a sharp edge. This one's too long to go in the knife vise. It won't work out well in there. It's just a laminate file. Cabinet makers use them a lot for finishing off form I cut and countertops and stuff like that. They'll work on wood also, not metal. Get it down to that point. Sharpest of the burrs off of there. Piece of used sandpaper. That's 100 grit. So you don't need all the abrasive on there. I normally flatten the pins on the grinder on a wood handle or antler handle, but I don't want to do that on this. Just want it smooth all the way around. Like I said, this will be 2 like this in the world, and I have enough of this particular material to do one more. If anybody would like one, and it has to be like this, a very small. And Josh has the original. Mr. Ashley's getting this one. What we can do, that's going to scratch it up a little bit, move you up a little closer. Just want to make sure there's not a sharp point on that pin. Because there are pins down in there. They will never come out. Destroy the entire knife trying to get them out, I guarantee. I have done it. Hello? Hang on. Alright, got the pins flush, had it rounded off smooth, feels good in the hand. Looks a little rough, but going over to the buffer, buff out some of these scratches, and it will get a light clear coat on it, and it'll look beautiful. Now set this one down, and we'll start the hand sanding on this one. All right, make sure you can see. We're going to try one of these sanding blocks. That's a fine sandpaper. I'm going to give a start. The hand sanding on this. Normally start with 100 grit paper. Takes a little while to do these normally, but that's okay. That's part of it. Clogging up pretty bad. And these were gave to me. It's nothing I went out and bought. They usually go with a tried and true method that I've used a lot. And I can tell right now I don't like it. It may be good for something, but it's not this. Alright, let me get some sandpaper and do it the proper way. Alright, got it sanded with 100 grit, and this is 320 grit. Much better than that sanding pad. Smooth it over. Takes a little while, but it doesn't take all day or nothing like that. But the slicker the knife is, the less grip you have on it. There I go again. Now this is, I know for a fact, going to be a using knife, using skinning knife. So we want it smooth enough to look good, but we don't want it smooth enough to where you can't hold on to it. This one's just about ready. Before we're finished, well, I have to I'll blacken that spine with gun blue to match the rest of the knife. Alright, feels very, very, very good. Put this one to the side. Let's take this one over to the buffer. We'll blacken the spine on this one too before we get all done with it. Let's take it over and see what we can do. Y'all want to go with me? Now this is going to shake the camera around, I think. Let's move it over here. Move it up like that. See, let's clean our buffing pad off. Let's see, let's put us a little bit of compound, not that one. Okay, take the blue compound, just for plastic and stuff like that, which this is considered plastic, I guess. No, we're not going to use a lot, just a little bit. Taking them scratches out of there. coat of clear on there that will look very good. There we go. Let me get some more of these scratches out and show you what it looks like in a little bit. Alright, moved over to the clean side. See, we're getting most of all the scratches are out of there. What that's doing, that's just cleaning that compound off of there. And we'll clean the rest of it off with some alcohol. Just like that, a little bit more, and we'll be done. Alright, let's clean it up a little bit. There's that's alcohol, just plain rubbing alcohol. I believe this is 70%. I'm going to clean that compound off of there, what's left of it. Now for this plastic material, acetone would be a little bit much, I think. And I keep it in these bottles, these fancy water bottles that the kids drug up in here. It's just easier to use it like that than those plastic bottles it comes in. We got a little bit right there. We want to get off of there. And a little bit right there. There it went. That was just a little bit of compound that got trapped up in there. Alright, that one's cleaned off. Same thing on this one. Just wipe it one time, make sure it's sort of clean enough. Get through using something, always put the lid back on it. Put it away to the side, or you know what'll happen. You do like that, you'll knock it over and make a mess. And waste all your material that costs money. That's a little bit of gun blue I'll keep in this little jar here. Take a Q-tip. Done like that. Let it sit for a minute, and then wipe it off with a little damp rag with water. Now on the wood, it's getting on the wood, but it will not hurt it if you let it dry. Let it dry good. And you'll never know it got on there. Like that. Throw that away. Close that up. Yeah, let it set just a minute, then we'll wipe it off and get ready for the finish. The antler handle ones are over there. They're still dry on the second side. I want to make absolutely sure they are cured before I do any more grinding and drilling on those. But they're coming along. Should be today, I hope. If my phone will quit ringing. And my text will stop going off. And Mom will stop calling me. And what else? That's okay. That's okay. Hey, just gonna put us a clear coat on here. Lightly. It dries, we'll put another coat on. Look at that. Look at that. How about that? Ain't that pretty? And I'm really starting to like this spray. I've used it a lot here lately. Just got to do very light coats. Keep it from running. The brush on lacquer, same thing, but it'll run real easy. Especially in this heat. It's not that hot in here now, but okay, there's the first coat. We'll let that dry good. That's pretty. Let that dry. We'll put another coat on each. At least 2, probably 3 on each one. Alright, the antler handles are pretty much dry. Got the pins in, both of them. Now, they're still rough. They gotta be ground. What we're gonna do now, first I'm gonna grind the pins. Well, I'm gonna ground them pins. Yeah. Grind the pins, and then we'll start taking this material off here to make it even. And it's getting late in the day and I'm getting tired, so I don't know how much further we'll go. Alright y'all, it is the next morning. I finished the grinding and shaping on these 2 sharp fingers. The other 2 have dried overnight, hanging right up. We'll see them again here in a little bit. They are basically finished except for final sharpen and polish. These handles, I have found that the spray works very well on wood and the composite, but not so much on antlers. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem to stick as well. So we're going back to Old Faithful. I've used this stuff for at least 15 years. Never has failed me. Except nowadays it costs a lot more than it used to. Which don't everything. But let's take a little acid brush. And this is just to seal this antler, especially in the pith, so it won't absorb any water or moisture. Plus it makes it look really nice too. I think I had a major camera goof yesterday on the last clip I was doing on showing y'all how I glued and ground these. If so, ignore. If I didn't and it did come out, just ignore what I just said. So. Alright, now this will dry within 30 minutes, 45 minutes, enough to put another coat on. I'll go 2 or 3 coats, more than likely 3, depending on how it looks. Alright, that's one coat. Same with this, just like the spray though, you have to do it really, really thin, or it'll try to run. Okay, do that one the same way. And when these are dry, I'll get them all down at one time, do the final sharpening and polish, clean the table, and get ready for sheaths. I have plenty of leather to do this, but I have some more leather that is said out for delivery today. My normal supplier finally got some more of the thicker stuff like I used to use, but it went from $17, $18 per piece of leather to $31 per piece of leather, and that's a little too much. I looked up on I am a member, what they call it, gold member or something, of Tandy Leather. Excuse me. And I looked up on their site and they've got something, the same cut of leather, I think the same size, was down at the $18 range. So I got a couple of those, and let's see, 3-day shipping, and the email this morning said it would be here today. So what I'd like to do is take a look at that before I use this other that I already have, because I think what I'm getting today will be a little bit thicker. That was a long way around the barn to say we'll work on the leather after a while. While I'm waiting on them other ones to dry and the other leather to get here, I'm going to go ahead and make the sheath for the Alaska boning and fillet knife, or fillet and boning knife, whichever, because it's just a cover. It's not one to really like carry, and it'll be the thin leather. It's the best for that. It's very, very good quality leather, and it's much better than that fabric stuff that you see, and sometimes you get a sheath made out of that. So have a lot of it. It's already nice and thin, so we're just gonna make our cover sheath out of that, just like what I made for Josh. Same thing on this one, maker's mark, and I stamped the fish on there too, just because. I have not done a lot of tooling and work on sheaths recently like I used to, mainly because it just hadn't been requested. So if you need some kind of tooling on your sheath and all that, let me know. I can still do all that. Now I'm going to do, I got another Bowie knife coming up after the cold steel, another one similar to that, built from scratch, and we're going to do a detailed video on that, and we will discuss Bowie knives in the next 2 videos after this one. Show it to you when I get it ready. Got my welt cut for it, get it all glued in, stitched up, oil dipped, and this one at least will be done. Final polish and sharpen. Didn't that handle come out nice? I told you all that white rough looking scratches would go away. Way yonder cool. Okay, sewing up the fillet knife sheath. Yes, I still hand sew. And I still mess up. I think hand sewing gives it a nicer touch, more of a handmade look. It's just as strong as a machine. And leather sewing machines cost lots and lots of money. I don't know that I could figure one out anyway, so it's the way I've always done it. It's the way I want to always keep doing it as long as I can. That one's finished. Sharp, you're going to oil dip this sheath for waterproofing. Let's see if it fits. Just like that. Now the oil dip will make it a little bit darker color. I like that. Okay, oil dip this one and it's ready to go. And the other ones, the handle should be dry by now, and we'll get them sharpened up and wait for that leather to get here. It's set between 12 and 2, but that's any time now, and it's UPS, so I know it'll get here. Alright y'all, the knives are finished. Polished, sharpened, oiled. There is the creek skinner. Very sharp, ready for a sheath. My leather's still not here, but it'll get here. Well, I'm trying not to cut my fingers. Alright, sharp finger. There. There's the other sharp finger. Sharp and ready to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and I'll show a picture of the knives with the sheaths on the next one, because it is too late today to get started. Now it's almost 4 o'clock. I don't know why the leather ain't here yet, but sure to get here this afternoon, and we'll do those tomorrow. And I already looked at the fillet knife. It's ready to go. So there we go. Just about caught up on this work. Got a couple more jobs in the shop, and we have a couple more jobs on the way. So there we go. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for your support. If you need something, let me know, and I'll be glad to do it for you. See y'all next time.